Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. We're through the storm, through the night.
All right, we have gathered here today with Kaylee Johnson.
Hi.
To talk about a 1998 film / 2001 film, we'll get into that later, called Wicked.
Before we even get into the plot, do we need to explain why we're so excited talking about this movie?
Yeah,
why we even like it?
Yeah, so this is a different Matt and Drew talk about because we are including Kaylee Johnson.
Hi.
And when we started this movie, especially after watching a really bad trailer for it, the question is what movie is this? I thought it was a Lifetime movie, maybe even a Hallmark movie.
You're not far off.
And you were like, no, this was released by Sony.
Well, I must have been mistaken because I did think that it had a theatrical run, and it seems like it was released immediately to DVD, correct?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
So it went to...
But it was distributed by Sony.
It went to Sundance in 1998, right?
Sundance.
But it never got any distribution. So then it was finally released in 2001. And it says that it was distributed by Columbia TriStar Home Video.
Sony owns them, yes.
Okay, yeah. So this was, and they only released it to our suspicion after the fact because Julia Stiles had been in 10 Things I Hate About You and Save the Last Dance.
So they had a garbage movie that a soon-to-be star was in when she blew up. They released it after the fact.
And then the last thing I'll say is, Julia Stiles herself was nominated for an award for
this performance.
Some other people that were considered to play Ellie in the movie were Rachel Lee Cook and Katie Holmes.
Oh.
I know. I could see Katie Holmes being in this movie.
I would also like to say that I think calling it a Lifetime or a Hallmark movie is unfair to Lifetime and Hallmark.
This is really good for a Lifetime movie.
It's a Lifetime movie that's got hardcore metal in it.
Yeah, it's
there's
music.
Yeah, there's some really interesting. And one thing I did find was that I guess there was some controversy between the guy who scored the movie and the director or the production company.
Really? Because we theorized about this.
Yeah, they couldn't come to an agreement about the score.
Yeah.
And this was even more of a reason why they were just forget it, let's just put it on delay. So I don't know what kind of terms they came to for the 2001 distribution.
But they didn't get along.
But I'll tell you what, the metal made the cut. Metal made the cut, baby.
Ow!
Oh, okay. Back off, all of you, or I'll pull his hair out. Do it.
So let's do a little introduction of this movie, okay? It's called Wicked. It's from 1998, but it was distributed in 2001 on DVD. And it stars Julia Stiles. Julia Stiles, she is a teenage girl, 14 years old. She has a family. She's got a younger sister, a father, and a mother. Now, the father and the mother are cheating on each other. And they are cheating on each other with...
Separate affairs.
The father's cheating with the nanny. The mother's cheating with a skeezy neighbor.
The neighbor, yeah. The most generic.
Who's also has a family or a wife that's left him suddenly.
And is leaving him.
So after the mother decides she wants to run away with this neighbor and she wants to take the kids with her, the daughter, Julia Stiles, gets wind of this. And she goes, well, not only do I not want to go away with my mom, but I also see that she's having an affair.
We also haven't even addressed the fact that the movie opens with her being like, fuck you, Mom, I'm running away. Yeah. And her mom being like, ugh, will you actually follow through with it this time?
Yeah.
The nanny pulling up and her mom being like, oh, look, she's running away again. And the nanny being like, big surprise, and walking in. So... already a tumultuous relationship.
Yes.
Can we rewind even from that? Because we immediately open on the nanny of all characters driving the car.
That's true.
Which confused me. I thought she was a sister because we're opening on her. So when she's coming in the house, Julia Stiles is running away. I'm immediately confused on what's happening, who's related to who.
Yes. So Julia Stiles, she's in a troubled family. Everybody's cheating on each other. She doesn't like her mom. She decides that she's going to murder her mother. She does this by taking a golf ball, I assume, from the neighbor because he's a big golfer.
Or is that a coincidence?
Let's get through it. No matter if it's a coincidence or not, the golf ball comes through the window. It comes on the floor. It draws the mom's attention. She goes in the kitchen, and then from behind her, somebody takes a comedy mask.
It's important. They are two heavy stone replicas, I guess, of the comedy
tragedy masks, like the theater masks.
Oh, so there's some themes behind this murder.
Oh, deep themes.
So she kills the mom.
Most importantly, there's two of them, and there are two major murders.
So somebody kills the mom. We don't know
with
who killed.
The comedy mask.
With the comedy mask, which I started laughing. So mission accomplished.
Should we also just point out the entire reason why we started watching this movie in the first place? It was the plot, which was Julia Stiles plays a troubled teen who is close to her father, ... a little too close.
Yeah.
Now, I was even going to say, the murder happens way late. We had so much buildup that we just blew past.
Yes.
So we got to take this back to step -1.
Well, what I like about what Kaylee just brought up was the fact, because now we can go back to the beginning, and then it's did she always want to kill her mother so that she could get with her father? That's an interesting thing too.
I also want to point out that whenever she, at the very beginning, she's like, I'm gonna run away. And her mom's like, fine, do it. She doesn't end up running away. And her sister's like, you weren't really gonna run away. And she's like, well, no, I couldn't, because I just thought about Dad. Mm-hmm. And what would he do if I ran away? He'd probably kill himself.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty heavy-handed open too.
Well, it's funny too, because even just talking about these specific plot beats and then talking once again about the trailer, when we watched the trailer for this too, it did give hints of an unhealthy relationship, but I was still shocked, even though I saw it in the trailer, when she comes out in that dress with the pie or whatever. And this is after the mom's died. And
it was a lasagna.
Yeah. So this is after the mom has been murdered. We don't know who's been murdered. We don't know who murdered her. But after she dies, Julia Stiles' character starts inherently taking over the role of her mother by deciding not to go to school, bossing the sister around as if it was her daughter, and seducing the father.
Yeah, the whole crux of this is that the mother dies mysteriously. The daughter is unstable, and when the mother is gone, the daughter takes the place of the mother. So yes. Did she orchestrate all of this, or did someone else murder the mother and the daughter's just unstable, fulfilling the role?
I don't think that was inherently clear in the trailer, but
I thought it was
or the movie.
Or the movie.
When it all comes back around at the end.
But when she's in that dress, I was like, oh my God. I was like, what kind of movie are we watching here?
And the fact that no one questions it. Not a soul.
This family is twisted.
Yeah. It is. It's
all of them. All four of them.
Well, this family is wicked.
Okay.
I think that's what it comes down to.
Guitar riff.
Listen, we can talk about the incest throughout the whole episode. I'm not worried about that film at the time. But what I would do, the reason I wanted to get past the murder was because I wanted to get...
Talk about the incest.
I wanted to get into Detective Bolin, played by Michael Parks.
We can't just rush into that.
They rush into it, and when he comes into the movie, it becomes a different movie immediately from the opening music.
We should have paused it when he came in. Do you remember around what time period it was? Was it the end of Act 1?
Well, here's the thing. Regardless of where it is, I don't register when he comes into the movie. All I know is that when he comes into the movie, boy,
everything changes.
Everything changes. What are you doing, kid?
Shooting overalls, sir.
All of a sudden, this becomes
his movie.
It felt like a Twin Peaks, David Lynch, kind of musical score, where all of a sudden, a suave detective's coming in. But it was so misplaced. But to be honest, I loved it. I loved every second of it.
This director was working at maximum capacity, because I can imagine reading the script, and because the dialogue is so bland for the most part.
Yeah.
But the situations they're in and the performances and the way it's shot, everything is elevated. And I got David Lynch vibes when this detective came in, because he's directing it in a way that is self-aware. I got a sense this director was very confident with the way he was directing the movie, and he was experimenting, and that was interesting to see, and that made it more engaging. Like, there's so many. The trailer was great because it showcased all the different like things that he was doing. The solid blue scene when the Julia Stiles and the housekeeper. Like, there's so many different things going on. The point of view when we're learning all this information. He's doing everything. He's pulling out all the stops.
It did feel very like, ooh, David Lynch and Hitchcock with all of the like experimental shots. That being said, A for effort.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much that stuff really added to the film.
Well, I think
there's nothing to start with, though. That's the point, is that the script basically has this implied incest twist, which, spoiler alert, it happens off screen for the most part, because you don't know about it until
it's a gentle fade to black,
and then you don't know about it. It's not confirmed until she threatens him with it, and then he takes it seriously. It's very like there's no impact. And so when that's your script, the fact that the director is actually like trying to make it interesting and succeeding in more than he's failing, at least. Well, like it's something.
That's what I think is interesting about the film in general, because it's not a poorly directed movie. The performances aren't bad. Well, hold on, but it's weird because it's like the story is so weird to begin with, and then secondly, the way it's executed, like all the beats are there, but the dialogue is so bad.
The dialogue is trash.
And I think it's like a perfect representation of this. Is that detective, because you have everything.
He's the only one aware.
His performance is like, and I'm sure when he was with the director, he was like, I'm just gonna do this because this dialogue's dog shit. So I have to say it in a way that's like interesting or just weird enough for me. And it's like, it shouldn't work. I shouldn't be like laughing and I shouldn't be engaged with this, with the music and with his performance and the lines he's actually saying, because it's disregard like the things that he says when it comes to the actual investigation.
What are you doing here?
Well, Richie, a white woman got knocked dead in her own home inside a gated community. Don't you think they call me?
I see. What do you got?
Everything he says is ridiculous.
Then he says things when he's like talking to the other neighbor that he's got a thing for, and we're gonna talk about her in a little bit.
She's my favorite.
But he's sleeping with the neighbor, and then I just want to bring up at the end of the movie when there is another murder that takes place that we'll get into, but there's another murder that takes place. His solution to answering this call is by going to the back door, immediately like jumping through the back door, diving, and just shooting.
We're going to the climax.
I know, but I just wanted to wrap up his character really quick because and then he goes up to the dead bodies and he just like looks at her and smokes a cigarette. He's just like, it's just like, so his performance in general, I think, is like what I'm talking about with this movie, where there's something interesting about it, but it's also it's so weird.
It's contrast, because you have the Lifetime melodrama of the perfect family with the incestuous twist, and then you have just like corny detective who's like the loose cannon and is just so engaging.
It feels like two different soap operas that have been combined and directed by a film student.
Yeah. Michael Steinberg, he's at least like won some festivals. Like he's had some nominees at like Sundance with other movies that he's done. Now he didn't write the script for this. The person who wrote the script for this only has 2 other credits. So I think this director is probably like, well, maybe I like the cast, and maybe this is going to be like an easy local shoot because it's really just set in like a small suburban town.
Handful of locations, yeah.
Just like houses mostly, and then like some schools and stuff. But it's a pretty like low scale movie, and maybe he was like, oh, I could do something interesting with this. And he's like, what do you think about the script? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, yeah. And Julia Stiles, to her credit, she does give like an interesting performance.
She does what is asked of her, and she does it to the best of her ability. She's easily the best part of the movie, with a very close second being the neighbor. Is it Miss Potts? Is that what her name is?
Yes.
Potter.
And really fun fact, it's called, what's her name? Amaryllis?
Amaryllis.
Because that is the director's wife name in real life.
Well, that was the character like even written in the script, or was the director like, I'm going to create a character, name her Amaryllis, and she's going to get with the detective?
Honestly,
that's
it kind
my
of
favorite
seems
part.
like that based off of that random scene there is of her just playing piano and singing during a storm.
There are multiple random scenes with her. She is in this. She is in this movie so many times for no reason.
My theory is that
but she's so entertaining.
My theory is that she was friends with somebody on the production, like the director, and the director like knew that she was like a good singer, or just enjoyed her singing.
She sings twice.
She gets 2 songs in the movie.
Yeah.
She does.
But this feeling doesn't come along every day.
Now, I was curious as to because obviously when we just movies in general, I don't think any story is off limits. And especially if you go back to like Shakespearean times and stuff, there's lots of like weird romantic stuff.
Well, this goes back to even like Greek.
Yeah,
like
I was
you're
wondering,
talking.
where does this come from?
Yeah, so there's like a classic, like there's the Oedipus complex, which is based off of the tale of Oedipus, who mistakenly sleeps with his mother and kills his father. In that he doesn't know that it's his mother and his father. Mm-hmm. But then the reverse of that is the Electra complex, in which Electra's mother kills her father, and so she, mourning her father, avenges him by killing her mother with help of her brother. So this is a play off of the Electra complex, because you even see like the father being wronged by the mother. She's afraid of, the mom talks about at some point, like, oh, well, we're going to get a divorce and we're going to move. And she doesn't want to leave her dad. So the mother dies, and all of a sudden she's taking over the motherly role and stepping in that place.
So this is a modern Greek tragedy.
It is.
A lot of things are.
Is shoehorned in by those freaking theatrical masks.
Oh, yeah.
The 2 greatest things, or the 2 most popular things to come out of this Greek tragedy, is the movie Wicked, and then a whole category on Pornhub that people watch.
Ew.
No, we haven't, because we're talking about character right now.
Yeah.
I want to just circle around, and I think the last character we need to talk about is Little Sister.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk a little bit more about Mrs. Potter, too.
Well, what else?
Miss Potter.
Miss Potter.
Ms. Potter, yes.
What I like about her character is that she reminded me of the mom from The Room.
I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
Like there is a hard
She's
cut.
always upbeat.
Yeah, there's a hard cut where literally, and this is one of my favorite cuts in the movie, it's when Julia Stiles is choking Inger, her sister, on the kitchen floor because they were playing. She took something from her. I don't remember what it was, but Inger's running around with it. Julia Stiles catches
She's running
her.
around with the other mask.
Yeah.
Oh, the mask. Okay. Ellie is choking her sister on the floor, and it looks like strangling. And then it's just a hard cut to the father and Miss Potter sitting on the couch, and the dad just goes,
Listen, kids fight.
Oh, I know. I mean, I have a sister, and we fought. I mean, believe me, we fought like hell. But, I mean, we pulled hair or pinched or kicked. I mean, we didn't strangle.
It is directed like it's self-aware.
Like that cut reminded me of The Room. And then what she just says afterwards, she's like, well, kids do play a lot rough, but what did you say? It's like not a little bit strangly. It's a little too
serial killers do that, is the line.
Ben, strangling. Serial killers strangle, not siblings.
So whenever she comes in the movie, it's just with like a kind of like a jolt of energy in like reminding you of Tommy Wiseau kind of timing.
I firmly believe the director is self-aware.
Well, either way, he likes Miss Potter because, like we said, she gets 2 songs in it. The orchestra one in the rainstorm.
She's in like 7 scenes.
And then even at the wedding, I felt like they stayed on her musical number, not too long, but just like
it was long.
It was long.
It was a performance.
It was a performance. God, that impromptu wedding also was so funny. And then even
that was great.
when the detective shows up at the wedding as
They get
well.
married
We're all
so
over the
fast.
place with the plot
I
in
know.
this.
Either way, I want to just talk about Miss Potter. I think she's great. I love the fact that she sleeps with the detective. And then she's got that great line at the end, too, where
She's
she's
so many
like,
great lines.
she goes, what does she offer him? She goes,
How about some cocoa?
I never touch stuff.
Come with me.
My favorite Miss Potter detective scene is when they're with the nanny, and he comes out of the bedroom. After that, that's the audience and the nanny all learn that the detective has spent the night with Amaryllis Potter, and he comes out of the bedroom the morning after. And what did he say to the nanny?
Oh, Inger just left, so we won't be needing 3 mugs. Oh, I should have told you this a little earlier. It's not for Inger.
Lena, you say anything and I'll arrest you.
Then he says it. He's so deadpan. It's so wonderful.
we had a theory that he actually doesn't ever solve a case. He just goes to towns and he goes to towns and he tries to find like a single house, like
Every town has
grandma
an
to bang
Amaryllis.
or something. Yeah.
His Achilles heel is the head of the homeowners association.
And that's one thing to just circle back around on. We were trying to figure out what she does.
Well, she's there because we need
cares.
No, she's there because we need a reason for the detective to be close by for the final murder that takes place, so he can come in
You're just thinking as a screenwriter.
like a bull in a china shop and just shoot the first person he sees.
Do we want to talk about the climax?
Let's finish talking about the characters because you want to talk about Inger.
I want to talk about Inger.
And
Inger the Dinger.
It would kind of require more.
Which is an actual thing that somebody says.
I love it because, like, do you guys know what a dinger is? It's a penis.
I mean, I figured.
Inger the
but
Dinger.
I've like when I was growing up, like I've heard it been called like a dinger.
Okay.
So when I heard that insult, it made me feel like
Validated?
yeah, because like that's an insult I get and I know no one else gets.
You can relate to the bully in this movie.
Just ignore them, okay? And what are you gonna do about it, Dinger? Yeah, Dinger.
Well, you know what? Even just to go back to this incest family, maybe that bully, just to fix the movie real quick, maybe that bully's making fun of them because they have like a close family, just to set it up.
But that's not established yet. That's something that happens.
That scene is so weird because all I guess it shows is that Ellie is like a wild card. She grabs his hair and drops an F-bomb and
She's
all
tough.
that stuff. I mean, I don't know if we can talk about Inger without
Edge.
just mentioning like the spoiler for the end of the movie too.
Well, my favorite, there's so many things about Inger that are great. There's 2 we can talk about before the ending, so I guess the ending would make it 3. The first 2 are, I love this scene, when mom talks to her from beyond the grave and she almost walks into the grave. Oh my God, that scene stood out to me.
Why did that scene even exist?
That scene was... I'm doing
that,
a chef's kiss right now, but you can't see it.
We feel it.
That element that there is like a clairvoyant or a telepathic
I thought it was going to come back.
connection.
I was really hoping that there would be more like
Yeah.
beyond the grave communication between like Inger and like someone else. Like she was touched or something.
Well, it's like both the sisters are really weird, and it's like, well, I want to get back to that in a second. Both the sisters are really weird, and it's like, why is this family the way they are? Why is this called Wicked?
I think they just have a psychotic gene.
There's that scene in which like the dad like went away on a business trip and he comes back and he gives Ellie, Julia Stiles, like this makeup kit.
Mm-hmm.
But then
That's the
he
beginning.
just gives Inger like this like stupid stuffed animal that she's just kind of like, oh, okay. And then later Julia Stiles like comes downstairs and sees her dad sleeping on the couch because she was eavesdropping and heard her parents arguing. And she's like, Dad, do you love me? And he's like, well, don't tell anybody I said this, but you're my favorite. And I feel like that moment of the mom talking beyond the grave and being like, I love you, sweetie. You were my favorite, was just a way of like showing like favoritism or something, or like showing that like the dad and Ellie had a closer relationship and Inger and the mom had a closer relationship. I really felt like that was the only thing that it was establishing.
Well, there's so many things that are thrown in there that they don't explain. Why is Ellie her dad's favorite? Why is Inger connected to her mom in like a telepathic way? And
that was just a thread. That was one off, and then it never came back.
And why is this family wicked? And, you know, the thing with Inger is she gives little hints that she's also trying to, like, replace her mom because there's, like, one morning when she brings, you know, the lunch bag out and gives her
That
dad,
was my
like,
second favorite Inger moment because I was like, what the fuck?
Like, he's not going to fuck an 8-year-old, is he?
I thought the dad was having, like, his, like, realization that what he's doing is fucked up, and he's, like, imagining now Inger in that position. But no, she's literally doing this. She's literally just acting like Ellie.
Well, the question...
And I'm shrugging my shoulders right now because it's like, why?
There's no explanation as to why anybody in the family behaves the way that they behave.
Other than it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's just fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, if it is a Greek tragedy, then I guess these characters just by nature are messed up, right?
Honestly, we could have used a Greek chorus telling us what the hell was going on.
It would have been good. Like from Hercules.
Exactly. And, you know.
She's 14 and she's running away.
that actually makes a lot of sense because, like, I had two guesses. My guesses were, the first one when I was watching it was... literally, there's a gas leak in this house because everyone's acting bananas.
You did say that.
And then my second one was the psychotic gene, which I pitched earlier on the show. But you probably have the best one, which is just, it's like destiny. It's like some people just have tragic destinies, and this is what it was because it was all incestuous and murdery.
I'll tell you what, here's how you fix this movie. Open the movie with one of the trips that the dad comes back on. He brings back those masks. He brings them back. You're
getting too far. The beginning is already too long.
No, but I'm saying like those masks then once they're in the house cause the family to start becoming in affairs, and then it gets people jealous and then it's like incest stuff. Boom.
I think they just work as a murder weapon.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But the last thing to talk about with Inger obviously is the ending, which is after we reveal that
the big twist. Yes.
After we reveal originally that Julia Stiles is the killer of her mother. Later in the movie, Julia Stiles gets murdered after she kind of beat by beat like does all the same things that her mother does, up until the point where she's now going to run away with this neighbor potentially as well. Because she has some kind of like weird encounter with him after the wedding, and then she ends up like staying at his place, and they're gonna run away together.
She falls for him just like the mother did.
Just like the mother
She's falling into all the same traps.
All the same traps.
It's art.
So after all that happens, Julia Stiles then ends up getting murdered, and then we were like, well, who killed her?
Well, we think it's the
neighbor.
The neighbor, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of like...
But then Detective Bowman comes bursting in and shoots the neighbor in the chest immediately. And then the neighbor falls with Julia Stiles' body. The detective walks up.
In his arms.
In his arms.
Which makes him seem guilty to an extent.
The detective walks up to the body, just looks at him, and then just smokes a cigarette right in front of the bodies. But then later, the father, Inger, are now staying at the nanny's place because the nanny and the father get back together, seemingly since Julia Stiles is dead.
Yeah.
The point is that the last shot is Inger is the murderer, and she reveals this by pretending that she's crying on her dad's shoulder, and then looks up all aggressively because she brought the murder weapon to the nanny's house. In her backpack. And the nanny finds the murder weapon. Then she looks up at Inger. Inger looks up and it's like, oh, it's going to happen again.
I guess, you know what? I think I just figured out why we have that scene where Inger is copying Ellie and bringing out the lunch and everything. She ends up copying Ellie again with she finds Ellie's murder weapon in the suitcase. She picks it up. She looks at it. And then she just ends up doing the exact same thing.
This isn't even callbacks. We're on callbacks to callbacks. The mom fucks up. The sister fucks up. The sister fucks up. This is...
Violence begets violence.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I guess because...
5 out of 5 stars.
I guess Inger becomes jealous because then Julia Stiles just gets to become the mom after she blackmails the dad and says, well, if you don't get rid of your new wife, I'm going to tell everybody you have a mole on your butt. And then he just breaks down crying. And that scene was so interesting because I was just thinking about on the day, like, okay, what scene are we doing?
Yeah. Well, because what happens?
He commits hard to it.
Let's back up.
We got a lot that we've missed in the middle.
there is so when when Ellie is getting more and more into her mother's role, she gets more and more close romantically to her father.
Yes.
There is one scene where they fall asleep on the couch together. what does she say? Kiss me like you did when I was 3 years old.
So he comes home late from work that night. They argue because she's been sitting up waiting for him. And he was out to dinner with the nanny who, spoiler alert, he was having an affair with, and essentially tells her, like, well, now that my wife has been murdered, I can't marry you so that you can get your green card because, by the way, she's Swedish. And she's like, fuck you, and walks out. And this is before cell phones, so Julia Stiles can't get a hold of him. They get in an argument when he comes home.
Well, he's been drinking too.
He's been drinking, and he falls asleep on the couch, and then she comes down and she's like, I was just really worried. And he's like, yeah, I guess I should have called, which, like, typical man. And then she's like, do you remember when you used to kiss me like a movie star? And he was like, oh man, that must have been like 7 or 8 years ago.
10 or 11 years ago.
And when he said that, I believe, like, we all paused and I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why did you do that even then?
We were all confused. Well, she leans back and he says, like, what do you want me to do? Or something like that, which I don't know why you would say that in that situation. And she says, kiss me. And then it fades to black on the dad's face. And it comes back up. And Inger is watching her dad and her sister canoodling on the couch.
Well,
they're not canoodling.
Post-coitus.
Post-coitus.
They're snuggling once again, but in a much more romantic way.
And this is what I always get hung up on. They're fully clothed.
Well, yeah, I mean,
like her nightgown's like on, like she never took it off.
Well, that's probably the director trying to like insinuate like what happened. You know, but we know what happened.
And then Inger's like I'm gonna make breakfast, and then like the dad's like, oh, that's fine, and then like it was really weird because he was acting like she was acting weird.
Yeah,
she was clearly uncomfortable, and he was like, why are you uncomfortable?
Are we saying that the father is the actual antagonist of this whole movie because he's just banging his daughters?
Destiny. This is a Greek tragedy. Yeah. Destiny is the antagonist. Yeah. Everyone is just a slave to fate. So it's fade to black. It's implied something happened, but it's not clear. They wake up, they're fully clothed. There's that weird interaction with Inger. Then we have this conversation where Julia Stiles reveals that she is going to blackmail the dad. Oh, if you don't break up with the nanny,
your new wife. He's already married to at this point, by the way.
I think they're engaged at this point.
No, they're married.
No, they're married.
She blackmails him after the marriage.
Yeah, which makes no sense. Why wouldn't you do it before?
We know that because there's another great hard cut. So after Julia Stiles is blackmailing her father, saying, if you don't break up with your new wife, I'm going to tell everybody everything.
You're getting ahead of yourself, though, because that is a great cut.
So she
but
does
it happens
that
after this.
So she does all that. She blackmails him. He's crying. He's hunched over. He's shivering. And he goes like, what do you want? And she goes like, you know what I want, you bitch. And then it's a
hard cut.
It's a hard cut to him now with the nanny, his new wife. And he's like, I just don't think it's going to work out. It's like a comedy cut.
And she literally goes, it's been 12 hours.
It's like a comedy. It's cut so funny.
It's during this threat that it is confirmed to the audience. This is the whole point of the conversation. It is during this conversation where she threatens him that it is confirmed to the audience that they actually did it.
Yeah.
So it happens like after the fact. There is no, and this is what got me caught up, is there is no change in chemistry. There is no change in relationship post intercourse. They act completely the same way they did before intercourse than they did after intercourse.
Well, what the father...
That felt weird.
What the father tries to do is he tries to then bring in the nanny to get he tries to create that normal home life again. So you're right. He doesn't really...
That feels problematic because you're post intercourse.
Well, here's my other thing with this. It's not that the father sleeps with her and and I know that that's like a big thing, but also the fact that the neighbor also wants to sleep with this 14-year-old girl. Now, is that just once again destiny because he did that with the mom? But I
that's exactly what I see it as. Yes.
And I remember asking, I was like, what state are they in where 14-year-olds
that was a whole conversation because
I'm pretty sure it's Utah.
I thought it was Florida.
There's 3 different locations because there's tumbleweeds. So you think you're in Oklahoma. It looks like a neighborhood that is in Vegas because it is like perfectly like suburban. So I thought Vegas. And then there is a Florida license plate.
Okay.
So there's 3 different possibilities. It's all over the map.
Also, I kind of think now, the more that we're talking about it, that the reason why the neighbor starts falling for her is because she starts taking over the mom's role, and he was boinking the mom. By the way, I would like to point out that the scene where we discover that they're having an affair, at one point, she tells him something that he doesn't like, and he says, "Fuck you, bitch." And she goes, "Oh, baby, don't be mad."
What are you talking about? We had plans.
I know, it's difficult.
No. Look, you can't leave now.
You gotta control yourself.
You fucking bitch!
Well, it's like that neighbor character is very similar to the detective, where it feels like he's in a completely different movie too, and
he's just not a good actor.
He's wearing a bucket hat.
He's wearing
for
a bucket hat.
Hold on. I thought it was gonna be for like one scene, but
It's
he's
truly
showing
the
up
last
in it.
half of the movie.
And then there's that great scene also where after Julia Stiles leaves the wedding drunk, she falls into seemingly a sand pit.
It's a golf course. She falls into like one of the holes.
And then he's out there chipping in the middle of the night, I guess, or he's playing golf in the middle
He's
of the night.
always just playing golf.
He's always playing golf. He's always holding a golf club. And after he picks her up out of the sand, she's not being as harsh to him anymore. And he's like,
"You're obviously wasted."
He's like, "Why don't you come back to my place and I'll clean you up?" And he gives her a salon style shampoo, I'm
could have
assuming
been in an
conditioner.
Herbal Essence commercial.
He's giving her like a bath.
It is
so weird.
It is filmed like a sex scene. At the very least, they're like, they're setting him up. His job was he worked at a salon.
No, he was in a band, I thought.
No, because he's just doing it in the bath. I thought he had like an actual like salon set up in his house. No, he's doing it in the bath.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell that in the extreme close-ups.
Well, also it's like, if he was just doing it in a salon thing, at least she could have kept her clothes on. But then we reveal that she was in a bath. I mean, is she sitting in the bathtub? Just how is she? This is.
I thought she was outside the bathtub with her.
Oh, okay,
head.
that makes more sense.
Yeah,
I thought she was
not
in
naked.
The bathtub.
No.
Well, and then so after he washes her hair, they decide they want to run away together, and then pretty much the story writes itself.
Can we run away?
How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard?
So yeah, it's this really weird movie from 1998, before Julia Stiles, I guess, blew up. I mean, I love that trailer where it's like from Julia Stiles from Save the Last Dance. It's like,
I'll kill you!
Julia Stiles, star of Save the Last Dance.
I'll tell her.
Jeez.
Everything!
Wicked.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but now I'm ready to see Wicked 2024.
Hell yeah, brother.
I feel like we know everything we need to know.
If they were smart, they would have made this movie the musical on Broadway.
We need to write a musical based on this.
Instead of Into the Woods, it's Into My Daughters.
Ugh.
All right, there we go.
It's like, is that how we're ending
That's
it?
how we're ending it.
Big laugh.
That's how it's done. Hey everyone, thanks for listening. If you liked that episode, make sure you listen to all our episodes of Matt and Drew Talk About, as well as the Back Again podcast, a reboot review. We are available wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can watch these episodes with video on YouTube. Just subscribe to What a Guy Productions.